A bookshop is more about people than it is about books sometimes. Like, people who read are some of the most interesting people to talk to. My vision is that this place feels like home to people.
I do have strong opinions about what bookstores should be like, which is I think that they should have some personality, and a lot of bookstores, like we put shelves in, we fill them with books, ta-da, we're done, and that's all there is to it. That always makes me a little sad when I walk into a bookstore like that. I'm like, it's just a bunch of shelves with books on it and it doesn't really have much personality. Quimby's always has been an alternative bookstore. In fact, I would say that we are intentionally underground, intentionally for outsiders. We have a strong emphasis on POC and LGBTQ and all the abbreviations of alternative ideas. So I think we really are different, and intentionally so. Something that makes my bookstore different than almost all bookstores is that we specialize in zines. So these are small, self-published little magazines. Usually they're printing 50 to 100 copies of them, and they're trading them with other people who do zines. And so most bookstores don't carry zines because it's a lot of paperwork and it's a lot of trouble. I don't have any kind of jury process or pick 'em up. I take anything. Like if somebody has created, self-published a book or self-published a zine or anything like that, I will take and sell their work. I'm not making judgments about their work.
I always wanted it to feel like a living room. I never wanted it to feel like a store per se. I wanted people to come in here and feel like, oh, I could hang out here for hours. Whether that's by myself in a corner reading, or sitting with a friend and talking, or meeting a new person and starting up a conversation, I wanted the place to feel like you're so comfortable in here, you could just hang out. And that's also how I curate too, is like, there's no book that I think shouldn't be in a bookstore. I don't have that kind of power, I think. There's stuff that, maybe I wouldn't read, but that doesn't mean that other people shouldn't be able to read it. The events are quite varied. I mean, a lot of them obviously center around literature, right? So I host a lot of book launches, readings, whether it's poetry readings or fiction readings, nonfiction readings, lots of reading series. I've also hosted comedy shows. I've hosted music, like live music performances. I've hosted like things that are a mashup of all of those.
So the primary kind of events that I do now are parties, so like a book release party or a zine release, and a lot of times these are things that you wouldn't find at Barnes & Noble. I mean, the kind of zines and things.
This is not a corporate book launch, but that's what Quimby's is, and the people that walk in here are part of that community.
Like if I asked you, hey, you have full house. Hello. Hey.
Simona.
Yes.
I know this person. Sometimes you don't really know what you need until you find it. Like, I love the idea of the hunt. I love digging and I love finding things by chance or what seems like it might be chance. That, to me, that's what bookstores sort of represent, or a good bookstore, is you walk in there not because you're looking for something specific, or maybe you are, but you walk in there and you don't really know what you'll find.
When you look on the walls, a lot of the things that I have on the walls, prints of natural things, a lot of reproductions of stuff from the past, of birds and plants and insects and skulls. There's a lot of skulls and a lot of skeleton imagery in the store because that's something that I like personally. And yes, it's an ongoing project where it's growing all the time and changing all the time.
I mean, my shop is full of piles of books. I'm always trying to like organize, but it really is, it's messy. And there are some people who know how to interact with that mess and other people who are like overwhelmed. And then you see other people that are kind of just like get into it and they're like moving things around and like moving stacks and like looking at the very bottom of a stack, and like I love that. Like I want people to come in here and feel like they can just move shit and like get involved, and hopefully find something that they didn't even know existed, but that speaks to them, even if you're not a big reader.
It is a safe space for anybody who is alternative or, in any way. We try to give them a place that they are represented and that they're welcome. Yeah.
Normally reading is this like solitary act of like, letting your imagination go wild. And I think I've learned this since becoming a bookseller myself. The book life is so much more about people than I even realized. Books just bring people together.
Thanks for watching. Visit notjustahobby.com to learn more about these spaces and subscribe to see our latest episodes.